Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I thought I'd found my escape. A small, rustic cabin tucked away deep in the Caledon Mountains. The ad said secluded, serene, historic. It was certainly secluded. No cell service past the main road, nearest town an hour's drive. Perfect for a freelance graphic designer like me, trying to outrun the burnout and the quiet hum of urban anxiety. The air was crisp, pine-scented. The silence initially was a balm. I'd been here about 2 weeks when I found it. Behind the cabin, beyond a cluster of ancient firs, there was what looked like a dried-up spring bed. And in the center, partially overgrown with moss, was a stone. Not just any stone. It was a perfect, almost unnaturally smooth obsidian black, shaped roughly like a low, wide pedestal. Intricate, swirling patterns were etched into its surface, foreign and unsettling. I knelt and ran my hand over it. It was cold, unnaturally so, even on a warm afternoon. And then I felt it, a faint vibration, a deep, resonant hum that seemed to travel directly into my bones, through my fingertips. It was like a cello string plucked deep beneath the earth. I pulled my hand back, startled, attributing it to fatigue or maybe a localized seismic tremor. My friend, Landon, when I eventually got a text out to him over patchy signal, laughed it off as mountain fever. But the hum didn't stay by the spring. It followed me. Back to the cabin, it would start, low and insistent, usually after dusk. It felt like it was coming from the very timbers of the house, a slow, grinding vibration beneath the floorboards, against the walls. I'd press my ear to the wood, swear I could feel it, but it would always fade when I moved. Then came the growths. Small, silvery green patches, unlike any moss I'd ever seen, began to appear on the cabin's interior walls. They weren't fuzzy like normal lichen. These were smooth, almost metallic, reflecting the light in an iridescent shimmer. They grew in patterns that mirrored the carvings on the black stone outside. I'd scrub them away with bleach, only for them to reappear, larger, more numerous, by morning. It was like the cabin itself was slowly being claimed by something. The real fear began when it started on me. One morning, I noticed a patch of my skin on my right palm felt different. Not numb, but dull, less sensitive, and slightly rougher, like fine-grained sandpaper. Over the next few days, it spread, the grayish tint deepening, the texture becoming more pronounced, mimicking the silvery green growths on the walls. My fingertips felt stiff, my knuckles ached. When I flexed my hand, the skin felt brittle, stretched. I tried to scratch at it, but it was like scraping against a dry river stone. My sleep became a fragmented nightmare. I'd fall into these half-conscious states, not quite dreams. I was somewhere deep underground, surrounded by vast, silent caverns where impossibly thick roots pulsed with that low hum. I saw forms within the rock, slow, deliberate movements, like immense, ancient creatures shifting in geological time. Their surfaces were covered in those same swirling patterns, and they watched. I could feel their collective awareness, slow and patient, settling over me. Landon called yesterday. His voice sounded thin, distant through the cabin's ancient landline. He was worried, said I sounded off. I tried to explain, to tell him about the skin, the hum, the stone, the feeling of being watched by something older than time itself. He tried to be reassuring, suggested I just needed a vacation from my vacation. But he also mentioned, almost as an afterthought, an old local legend about the mountain's heart and how it called its children home. His words resonated with a terrifying clarity. That night, the hum was a roar inside the cabin. It wasn't just a vibration. It was a symphony of low tones, each note a physical pressure against my eardrums. The silvery green growths covered entire sections of the walls, pulsing with a faint inner light. My entire right arm, up to the shoulder, was now calcified, rigid. My left hand was following suit, the dull gray creeping up my fingers. My vision blurred, a constant gray-green filter overlaying everything. I could barely move, my joints grinding like worn rock, but a singular, powerful compulsion gripped me. I had to go back to the stone. Each step was agony, a monumental effort as my legs, too, began to stiffen. The air outside felt thick, earthy, and I realized it was the same smell from my underground visions. The ground around the spring bed shimmered, alive with those iridescent growths, leading like a path to the obsidian pedestal. And there it was, glowing with an internal, cool green light. As I shuffled closer, the ground beneath me felt soft, damp like overturned earth, then strangely firm, like solid rock that had been freshly broken. I could see them now, indistinct figures within the shadows of the ancient firs, tall and still, like silent sentinels carved from the very mountain itself. They weren't watching me, not anymore. They were watching it, and I was part of it. I don't remember touching the stone this time, only a blinding flash of green light and a final, agonizing crackle through my bones. When I came to, I was still here in the cabin. But the hum wasn't just around me anymore. It was in me. Every breath, every beat of what felt like a calcified heart was accompanied by that low, resonant thrum. My entire body felt heavy, unyielding. My skin was cold, hard, like polished river stone. My fingers, when I managed to lift them, barely bent, creaking faintly. My vision, through the gray-green haze, felt sharper, yet also different. I could see the minute patterns in the wood grain, the deep roots of the trees outside, the faint currents of minerals in the soil, as if I was seeing through the earth. I'm trying to write this, but my hands are slow, clumsy. The keyboard feels like a foreign object. My voice, when I try to speak, is a rough whisper, like stones grinding together. Landon tried to call again a few minutes ago. I couldn't answer. The cabin itself feels like an extension of me now, or I an extension of it. The growths on the walls aren't alien anymore. They feel like part of my own slow, silent expansion. The mountain's heart isn't just a legend. It's real. And it's calling me, humming in my blood, pulling me back to the earth, to become one of its silent, ancient children. I can feel the roots of the firs, stretching towards me, feeling me. It's not taking me, it's absorbing me. The silence here used to be a balm. Now it's the sound of everything slowly turning to stone. I don't think I have much time left before I can't even tell myself apart from the mountain anymore.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.